So I'd like to welcome you all to our conversation with Flagship alumni Morgan Hansen and Leanna Kramer, who both graduated from the Capstone program this spring. Leanna will start with a very brief overview of the Capstone program and then focus on Capstone internships, which combine Russian with aspects of students' majors and their professional goals. After Leanna, we'll hear from Morgan, who will present in Russian about her internship at the Kostyev Museum of the Arts in Almaty. And she'll focus on museum accessibility, which is доступность in Russian, which can be физическая доступность, экономическая, or языковая, на каком языке. So after Morgan's talk, we'll have a Q&A and then a breakout session with Leanna and Morgan each leading a group. So you can ask some questions in those breakout sessions too. At a later date, we'll have a more general information session about the nuts and bolts of the Capstone program, but we wanted to start with the student perspective and a focus on internships that leverage the high level of Russian that the Flagship program targets. If you'll be applying for the Capstone year, especially if you plan to apply for a Boren scholarship, now would be a great time to start putting your materials together and working on that first draft so that you can do several drafts. Also for the CLS, we can start working with you if you'd like on CLS applications at any time. One quick announcement, our next Flagship event will be next Monday, August 31st, and it will be at 5 p.m. again, Pacific Standard Time. It will focus on Belarus and the significance of the ongoing events in Belarus for Russian area studies. It will combine news media, reading between the lines, learning how to use Russian media sources, and also some popular music. I'll say a little more about that toward the end. So coming back to today's talk, the Russian word of the day, I guess, would be стажировка, internship, and different ways you can работать стажером, how you can work as an intern during that Capstone program. So now I'll turn the floor over to Leanna.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Leanna Kramer. I'm really excited to talk a little bit about the internship aspect of Capstone today. I joined Russian Flagship as a freshman at UCLA. I did Russian 1, 2, and 3, and then the following summer I did Russian 20 through the Flagship funding, which allowed me to go to Kazakhstan for the first time on RLAS after my sophomore year. And then following graduation, I received a critical language scholarship to study for 2 months in Russia. I was in Nizhny Novgorod. It was a really great experience. And then after that, I went straight to the Capstone program in Almaty. I was there for 7 months before we had to evacuate due to COVID, and then I finished up the program in May. So I was able to complete the whole Flagship program. I had a great experience doing it, and sounds like a lot of you guys are already well on your way to do a lot of exciting things. So today I'm just going to talk pretty briefly about the program in general, but focus a little bit more on different internships that people have done, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let me make sure my screen is sharing. Let's see. Is the PowerPoint visible?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, great. Yeah, so just to start, the Russian Overseas Capstone is a 9-month immersive overseas experience for undergraduate students in Almaty, Kazakhstan. The main goal of the program is to develop a superior level of fluency in Russian language through intensive language coursework and a lot of other elements, which I think that superior level of fluency is really what makes the program unique. So the program has a lot of different elements. There's elective courses, there's work with an individual tutor, conversation partners, which some of you may have already experienced in the summer program. Basically, you get to spend time with a local student and talk in Russian and pick up some local language and slang. There's also excursions, which are a great way to see a lot of different areas of the country. Kazakhstan is very big. There's a lot of beautiful things to see there. Saying, in addition, every student lives with a Russian-speaking host family. That was probably my favorite part of the program. I got along really well with my host mom, and we still keep in touch, which is fun. And then also, students take classes with local students in whatever subject you're interested in. So it's going to be related to your major or course of study. And then today, we're really going to dive into internships with local organizations. So as a part of the program, every student participates in an internship. The great thing is you work very closely with an internship coordinator who helps you set up an internship at a place that really interests you and matches the skills you have, but also the skills you want to develop in Russian, which will obviously vary by student and vary by career goal. So just a second on superior level Russian to show what makes it so unique. So the main goal of the Russian Overseas Capstone program is to enable students to achieve a professional level of fluency in Russian, which officially is called the level of an educated native speaker or superior on the ACTFL scale. So at this level, you can understand not only the core meaning of what a native speaker is saying, but also nuances of the language, such as reading between the lines in Russian media and kind of understanding the deeper meaning behind the language and not just in a literal sense. So while working towards this fluency, Capstone students learn to function biculturally in both informal and formal settings. And the main ways that students develop this ability is through both those direct enrollment courses and internships, because they allow students to not only operate in Russian in a professional environment, but speak to people at a professional level and hear from them professionally. And it helps because it's individualized based on what students are actually interested, because obviously professional language varies by field. So that's one of the really cool things about Capstone is students can have internships in a variety of fields. In the arts, we're going to hear a little bit from Morgan later on her internship at the State Museum. Business for students who are econ majors, business majors, or may just be interested in working in business later on. Education, I know a number of students were able to work directly with local professors and conduct research or intern at the university. Also legal, and there's legal research or working directly with local lawyers, which can be really interesting for students looking to go into law because they gain a lot of exposure to the local legal system in Kazakhstan, which obviously varies a lot from the US. Media, I know some of my friends on my program, they were able to publish articles in Russian and conduct interviews in Russian through internships with local television agencies and news agencies. In addition, for students who may be interested in science or the medical field, there's also been internships in science or health field. And also social work. Some students may intern somewhere related to a cause that's really important to them, or some may intern at broader nonprofits. Just again, it's all based and tailored on student interests. So for social work, the Eurasia Foundation of Central Asia is a great example of a really productive and really dynamic local organization. I had the chance to intern there and I really enjoyed it. I'm interested in international development and I wanted to intern there to kind of find out more about what causes are important to local Kazakh people in terms of how they want to see Kazakhstan develop, what do they think is important. So while I was there, I got to do a variety of different tasks. I translated official documents such as grant applications or program descriptions. I conducted research in both Russian and English on different international development projects to directly aid projects that the organization was producing. So, for example, I was working on a project to expand opportunities for people with disabilities in Kazakhstan. And in addition, I was able to help work on a schedule and work on an agenda for a social entrepreneurship program that the fund was conducting for young people throughout all of Central Asia. So I had a really great experience there. I found that my coworkers were really interested in working with me and really interested in getting me involved. I was worried that maybe they wouldn't have me do concrete work. I know that's the stereotype with internships, is that you're getting coffee or something, but I found that I was working directly on the work of the organization and able to really dive into what they were doing. So I really enjoyed that. So after my presentation, we're going to hear more from Morgan about her internship at the Castilla Museum in Almaty. But that's just an example of one thing in the arts that's available. We had a student who interned at the Kazakhstan Press Club, which is the monitoring and analytics branch of a media communications and consulting firm that uses Russian as its working language. The student provided language support for local staff and streamlined bilingual tasks, including content analysis, data entry, translation of documents from Russian to English, and draft editing. The student said that he learned how to apply knowledge of 2 languages in a professional environment. So that was a very positive experience for him. And then also, this is Evaristo. He interned at the Legal Policy Research Center, which is a Kazakh think tank composed of lawyers from all around the country with the goal of promoting liberal ideals, rule of law, and a basis for greater democratic reforms in Kazakhstan. An interesting project that Evaristo got to work on was that he contributed original research to the organization's project on reforming jury trials in Kazakhstan to follow the US model, and ultimately his reports were used by the center during expert hearings on legal reform in Parliament. So this really shows the real projects and the real work that students are doing on the ground in Kazakhstan, and they're able to do it in Russian, which is incredible. In addition, we had another student who interned at the Kazakhstan Foundation for Cultural, Social, and Educational Development, which is a nonprofit that aims to strengthen women's role in Kazakh society through social initiatives, as well as skill building training programs for young women. And this is interesting, especially for us at UCLA students. She actually adapted the UCLA Coach John Wooden's Pyramid of Success to Russian, so that this organization could use it as a tool in their presentations and trainings, which is really cool. But ultimately, some of the tasks that she would work on is that she would coordinate and be an administrator for a bi-weekly English club for current students and alumni of the Foundation's training programs. She assisted in the training center's main office, helped to design and plan leadership training curriculum, and offered additional administrative support. One of the exciting things she got to do was guest lecture during a leadership training session, and I believe that's when she used this pyramid. So this photo is really amazing. This is one student who interned at the Almaty City Cardiology Center, and you can see her there actually participating in a surgery, participating. And so she did a number of things while she was there, including interacting with Russian and Kazakh patients to develop patient histories, and also transforming self-reported patient histories from conversational language to medical language, which is required by the doctors for their reports. So as a Flagship student, she had the ability to actually convert conversational language to this high professional medical language. She also shadowed cardiologists and cardiothoracic surgeons and attended Russian language seminars and conferences on new clinical research. And I know that this place is pretty common for students who plan on going to med school or have a science focus in their major. So that's all we have for today on different internships. We're going to hear a little bit more from Morgan now, but if any questions come up, feel free to pop them in the chat and we're going to address them later. But yeah, ultimately, I think the internships are a very unique aspect of this program that you don't really find on other programs, and they also set you up to really incorporate Russian into your later career goals and things you want to achieve. And one of my favorite things about it is how unique it is for each student. And you really have the agency to choose where you intern and what you want to be set up to do later on. Yeah, so I will just pass it to you, Morgan.
I have a pretty similar background to Leanna. We actually came in the same year, did Russian 20 after my first year, did the summer, our last program after second year, came back, did all of the Russian courses, and then did the Flagship program this past year, until we were evacuated. So this is in Russian. I apologize now for any and all errors that I'm bound to make. Also, if I talk too quickly or I don't make sense, please just put it in the chat and Leanna cut me off. Just because I know that I do tend to speed. So with that, I guess давайте начнем. Я поговорю немножко про программу «Флагман» и конкретно про спецкурс, про стажировку и исследования. Спецкурс, я записалась на курс по музееведению. Этот курс очень интересный, по-моему, и цель этого курса — это сформировать у студентов знания о специфике музееведения как области научного знания и особенностях деятельности музейных учреждений. И, конечно, тоже определять роль и место музея в мировом культурном пространстве. Дальше я работала стажером в Государственном музее искусств имени Костева, Республика Казахстан, или, как мы говорим, музей Костева, гораздо короче. И там я работала в пресс-службе. В основном моя работа была перевод. Я переводила пресс-релизы, веб-сайт, большинство веб-сайтов на английском и годные отчеты. Я переводила краткие версии годных отчетов, потому что они 10-300 страниц, и я не хотела делать это, и это было много времени еще, которое у меня не было. Дальше была возможность участвовать в событиях, в основном открытие экспозиций. У музея часто новые экспозиции, почти каждые 2 недели. Это очень интересно, мне было очень повезло. И дальше я хотела сказать, что я начинала мою стажировку не в январе, а в октябре, потому что перед тем, как мы уезжали из США, я уже смотрела на веб-сайт Флагман и смотрели бывшие организации, которые уже работали с Флагманом, и нашла несколько организаций, в которых я бы хотела работать, и решила, что музей Костева, наверное, меня больше всего интересовал. И когда я поехала в Казахстан, я говорила с Жанной и сказала, я хочу в музее Костева работать. Мы общались с шефом, Клара Камиловна, и она сказала, у нас много работ, если вы хотите раньше начинать, давайте пойдем. И я начала в октябре. Это было очень хорошо для меня. Дальше, благодаря этому, я нашла мое исследование. Я решила исследовать доступность музеев. И в течение этого исследования мы назвали 3 формы доступности через сравнение музея Костева и музея Хэмер. Эти 3 формы, они физическая, экономическая и языковая доступность. Дальше этот портрет, это портрет художника Клинли. Он корейский, русский художник, он очень интересный. Так, физическая доступность. Мы назвали несколько общих чертов физической доступности и в музее Костева, и в музее Хэмер. Эти были доступный вход, лифт и место для отдыха. У музея Хэмер коляски для инвалидов. Это очень хорошо. Можно заказать эти коляски перед посещением. Это очень помогает инвалидам. Дальше экономическая доступность. Есть больше информации, которая влияет на экономическую доступность музеев вообще, но немного говорит об этом. Если вы хотите знать больше, тогда напишите. Музей Костера — это платный музей, то есть билеты платные. Для взрослых стоит 500 тенге, но есть много скидок для разных групп. Например, студенты художественных учебных заведений платят только 200 тенге, пенсионеры и студенты 300 тенге, а ветераны, дети, работники музеев и школьники во время каникул бесплатно ходить в музей. А дальше, по-моему, это третье воскресенье каждого месяца, этот музей бесплатный для всех. Это очень хорошо. А дальше у музея Костева бесплатная парковка. Музей Хэмер, наверное, вы все знаете, вы все учитесь в UCLA, наверное, вы знаете музей Хэмер. Это бесплатно. И парковка там платная, но у них есть скидка для ветеранов, по-моему. Последний вариант — это языковая доступность. Это мне больше всего интересно, потому что, как мы все студенты языков, это очень интересно для всех, по-моему. Начиная с музея Хэмер, у музея Хэмер пояснение только на английском языке, то есть это значит, что в музее, когда вы смотрите на картины, и рядом с картиной есть это маленькое пояснение. Это просто кто это рисовал, когда и так далее. Но дальше у них есть для слабослышащих вспомогательные слуховые аппараты и для слабовидящих информация об искусстве в крупноформатном тексте. И тоже на веб-сайте написано, что если у человека есть что-то, они хотели работать, и у них есть проблема или доступность недостаточно для них, можно написать имейл. В музее Костева пояснение вообще это на русском и на казахском языках. Дальше есть несколько постоянных экспозициях, где у них пояснения и на русском, и на казахском, и на английском языках. А дальше самое интересное, по-моему, это новый проект в музее Костева, и это это реплики картин из резьбы. Резьба, если вы не знаете, это на английском это что-то пластер, это пластер, и что есть, это картины из пластера, из резьбы, извините. И с этим есть пояснение на шрифте прерия. И это фотка здесь, это пример этого. Это очень интересно, по-моему, потому что я никогда в жизни не смотрела такие варианты для слабовидящих. И это, по-моему, очень хорошо. И надеюсь, в будущем это будет обычно, ежедневно в каждом музее в мире. Я думаю, это все от меня. Спасибо за внимание. Это все.